Today, I'm going to share with you the number one thing that no one is telling you about cycle syncing. And I'm not going to lie, after 4 years of practicing cycle syncing myself, 3 years of teaching so many different people how to do it, I really wish I would have thought of this sooner. But you know what? It's okay. So, the number one thing no one is telling you about cycle syncing is the fact that cycle syncing is a system. It is not a step, it is not a process. It is in itself a system. Now, let me preface this by saying I just finished reading the book Atomic Habits by the James Clear. And if you haven't read it, highly recommend it. But I digress. In this book, it really paints the picture of understanding how your habits work. And as I started looking at some of the different things he talked about, I was like, wait, this is so applicable to cycle syncing. And so today we're going to delve into the system of cycle syncing, but I'm also going to share with you how I teach people how to really optimize your flow. And in case you're new here, my name's Barry. I'm a menstrual health educator, practitioner, and the creator of Optimize Your Flow. My number one mission is to teach you how to transform your period and evolve the way you work so you can really optimize the way that you live, which is exactly why we're talking about this. Okay. So, by definition, a system is an overall thing, right? It's a core concept or element that you're looking to have and or implement into your pre-existing, let's say, health and wellness routine, or maybe your business or life, right? Whereas a process, right? Processes are all the things you do in order to make any given system work most efficiently. And so often I feel as if I hear people talk about cycle syncing, and I know I teach people how to optimize their flow, and they're like, I want to optimize my monthly cycle. And I'm like, whoa, first we got to standardize, then we're going to optimize. So I'm going to share with you the standard things that you really want to be aware of and practicing prior to really trying to optimize your flow, right? Because at the end of the day, the number one thing no one's telling you about cycle syncing is the fact that it is a system, right? So the first thing we need to know are one, there's levels to this. So depending on why you want to cycle sync is going to be like catered to you. It's going to be your specific thing. But for me, at the beginning of my journey, I wanted to sync with my cycle because I literally had problematic periods, from the heavy bloating to the fatigue to the bleeding. Like, it was just the worst. And don't even get me started on cramping. However, as I have healed my own period, 3 years of perfect periods, I have now focused cycle syncing and, well, evolved my practice right into optimizing the way that I live and the way that I work. But there was a point in time where I started with one thing and one thing alone, right? And that's what I like to call my flow and glow checklist. You can get that down in the show notes. I've linked it for you. But on this checklist, what we do is we focus on three specific things. One, nourishing your body. So often people tell me, I'm moody, I'm anxious, I'm stressed out, I haven't eaten enough, like all of these different things. And I'm like, did you eat today? No, I had 2 cups of coffee. Okay, sis, back it up. Make sure you're fully nourished. And then from there, we'll talk about everything else, right? So, we're going to nourish your body first and foremost. The second thing we do is soothe your stress. So often people live chronically stressed out and fatigued. And then by the time they get to me to work with me, they're like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what's going on. I'm so irritable. And it's like, whoa, soothe your stress. And then they'll say, well, how do I manage my stress? And I'm like, what relaxes you? Generally, people do or don't know that. So soothe your stress, whether it is making sure you're getting, 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, maybe purchasing a new pillow. That's what I did at the top of the year. It's changed my sleep hygiene altogether. Or, down regulating my nervous system through meditation and gratitude and breath work, all of those things, right? We're going to soothe your stress. And then from there, we're going to master your cycle. And mastery is one of those interesting things where I think we like the word because it sounds sexy, but mastery is really a daily practice. It's a non-negotiable like execution. Actually, I think James Clear talks about mastery in this book. In the words of James Clear, mastery is the process of narrowing your focus to a tiny element of success, repeating it until you have it internalized the skill, and then using the new habit as a foundation to advance the next frontier of your development. Now, we're talking about cycle syncing as this incredible system that it is. You have to know and understand that you have to master the basics, right? Those little things first and foremost before we move into those bigger things, such as syncing your business, right with your cycle, or syncing your decision making with your cycle. Now, I definitely teach those higher level things in my signature program, Optimize Your Flow. But if you're like, oh, I'm new here, I just want the basics of where to get started, I want you to start with the Flow and Glow checklist. I want you to really nourish your body. Then from there, I want you to soothe your stress. And then from there, we will master your cycle. Because at the end of the day, if we're learning how to really utilize our menstrual cycle to optimize our life, we want to understand it in multiple facets, not just the one in which, oh, this is going to increase my productivity. Okay, so we've increased your productivity levels, but have we fixed your period problems? Okay, so we've increased your productivity levels, but have we balance those hormones? Right. Let's start where we can walk, right? Standardize, and then we'll run to optimization. I hope this has been supportive to you. And if it has, leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and also come hang out with me over on Instagram at Optimize Your Flow. As always, I'm sending you big love and flowy vibes, and I'll check in with you soon. Hey friend, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. For more daily flow and wellness tips, make sure you connect with me over on Instagram.